Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all well. Thank you for your time today in attending our webinar, where we will speak about the Elios 2 system and how it can help your workflow on a daily basis. So, DroneOn is here to support and educate those interested in drone and its related technologies that can support and develop their businesses. With our partners, we are able to give you answers you were unable to either find out or did not have the time to find out. Here we'll give you a short, focused session to leave you both with a clear understanding of how the Elios 2 will benefit your business, yourself, and where to take the next steps to make this reality in your company. My name is Jude Searchfield and I'm the Product Sales Manager here at Feds, and I will be going through the webinar with you today and will assist you with any queries should you have any at the end of the webinar. So as we go through the webinar today, please make sure you can hear and see the presentation clearly. Let us know if you're experiencing any issues on the chat button so we can assist you as quickly as possible. Please note, a recorded copy of the webinar will be sent to you afterwards. So today's DroneOn webinar consists of 6 agendas. We will go through introduction to Feds, traditional inspections, why using drones in the first place helps, the benefits of drone inspections, Elios 2 features and its specifications, indoor inspection case studies, and of course at the end, question and answers. So, who are Feds? Feds revolutionized the Middle East commercial space by introducing drones as a service in 2014. Today, Feds is not just the #1 drone service provider in the Middle East, but among the top 3 in the world. Feds uses their DT3, which is drone tech, data tech, and digital transformation approach to provide comprehensive drone solutions across all industries that are faster, more accurate, and safer. Using drones, we carry out aerial mapping, surveying, inspections and progress monitoring that are far more efficient and cost effective than your usual traditional methods. Now partnered with Aerodyne, Feds now act at a global level, serving over 35 countries, and is the only drone company in the Middle East to be partnered with the universities and research institutes. So here in the Middle East, we Feds are the exclusive Flyability reseller. We operate holistically on all things Flyability. We can supply and service any Flyability drone as well as extend the same unrelenting customer support and understanding. So, why use drones? Now, by using a drone to collect visual data on the condition of an asset, drone inspections help. Inspectors can avoid having to place themselves in dangerous situations. Instead of climbing several stories in the air on a tower to take a close look at a guy on a wire, or on a scaffolding within a boiler to look at a weld, an inspector can send a drone instead, which ultimately makes things a lot safer. Today, drones equipped with sensors and cameras prove their worth in gathering real-time footage that can be stored for later analysis. Uncrewed aerial systems can detect failing structures and equipment in less time and at less cost than traditional methods alone. Using a drone for these inspections is beneficial because it removes the need to build scaffolding to see the inside of a container close up, thus keeping the inspector from harm's way, while also saving money by avoiding the need for building scaffolding for inspection purposes. Planning is crucial for every successful mission. Here at Feds, we have a remarkable track record for mission success, and I would attribute a large portion of that to focused and dedicated planning. Long before our team head out onto the field, we are trying to assess and account for every situation and element of the mission. Now, you must be mindful of the purpose of the mission, how we will secure the data, and what are the hazards we can expect and plan to mitigate. Now, by determining the mission's parameters and proper planning, you leave less room for error on the field and be assured of your mission's success. So choosing the right drone for your program can be daunting.
With so many specialized tools on the market, it can be challenging to determine which drone would work best for your organization. If you're also taking into account with the sensors, this process can be even more overwhelming, and this is where we come in to help you. Drone technology has developed rapidly with giant leaps. As with any precision equipment, matching the tool to the task is incredibly critical, especially in the case of inspections. Every inspection has its own unique challenges, which is why we believe in having the right tool for the job. So, when you're looking to conduct indoor confined space inspections, it's always best to go with specialized indoor confined space inspection drones. For indoor inspections, you need a drone that can easily traverse that complex environment. It would be best if you had a drone that can roll off walls and narrow spaces like pipelines or stacks. These environments are also usually dark, dusty and dangerous, with unexpected protruding hazards. This adds another layer of difficulty and danger to the inspection. This is where the Elios 2 comes in handy, and it mitigates this extra layer of difficulty and danger via the design. The Elios 2 was designed to fly in tight indoor spaces and be collision tolerant, allowing it to go where other drones cannot. The Elios achieves this with three main attributes: collision resilience, small size, and robust transmission. The drone is encased in a carbon fiber cage that protects the drone from impacts and is further supported by propellers that can make lightning fast corrections. Two of the biggest challenges when it comes to adopting tools like drones and the Elios specifically relate to the ease of use and the quality of data. Inspectors aren't pilots, so if the data they're getting of a drone isn't something that can provide them with a specific, measurable or actionable item, then the data isn't creating value at all. Now, all of these requirements were taken into account when designing the Elios 2. Protected by a fixed carbon fiber cage, the propulsion system of the Elios is kept from any contact with the surroundings, preserving at all times its ability to fly. In the case of a collision, the Elios 2 immediately returns to a stable position through lightning fast corrections. Now, these corrections are made using changes to the propeller's speed and direction of the rotation. The Elios is able to make such fast corrections through Flyability's proprietary flight software and patented motor controllers. Next, we have the size of the drone itself. Now, on this slide, you can see the drone is 40 centimeters in diameter, allowing it to fit into standard manholes and to confined spaces with ease. As previously discussed, it can hug walls and ceilings and simply fly into and around assets in a safe and efficient manner. It completely eliminates the need for inspectors to put themselves in danger. Finally, the Elios 2 comes with its own transmission system that secures connection to the drone through walls and obstacles. You can perform remote inspections beyond line of sight, through walls and past obstacles with the Elios 2. Its wireless transmission system overcomes the needs of indoor configurations and is compatible with the range extender for the most complex of setups. Now, there are three main benefits of drone inspections. First is lowering cost. There are 6 main ways you could cut down on costs using drones, and we will go through all of them today. Second is reducing downtime. Inspecting assets in oil and gas is challenging and time intensive, especially in the case of flare stacks and boilers, where you would have to shut down the assets days in advance. Now, using drones, you can eliminate a lot of this. Next, last but certainly not the least, is safety. Drones significantly increase the safety of your inspection and operations by isolating the hazards from the workers. Now, on this slide, you will see the eliminating use of temporary structures and reducing downtime. So let's talk about that a little bit more. There are simple tools that come at a cost of time to build and money to procure. The structures also need to be inspected daily to ensure the user's safety, and once the task is complete, the scaffolding needs to be taken apart as well. All of this equates to a direct increase in cost and wasted working hours. Now, using drones, it removes the need for scaffoldings and other temporary structures altogether. Reducing downtime. For every minute that an asset is down, the asset owner loses out in profits. In the oil and gas industry, each individual operation is vital to the overall product, assets being down for any durations that brings down efficiency of the plant. Now, in the case of flare stacks or boiler tank inspections, the asset must be shut down several days in advance to make them safe enough for human entry and interaction. Now, using drones, you don't need the asset to be completely cooled down and devoid of toxic fumes and other hazards, allowing the drone to enter and inspect well before a human team would be able to. Decreasing work hours. Now, manual inspections tend to be time intensive and very laborious, as we all know. Drones drastically cut down inspection time, even by 80% in some cases. Not only, but they also reduce the number of workers needed. Keeping personnel to a minimum and decreasing work hours without losing effectiveness is the decisive optimal outcome. Cutting down health insurance costs. Oil and gas fields carry many risks for the workers, and ensuring the crew from harm is an unavoidable cost of business. Introducing drones to inspections in the oil and gas industry significantly increases their health and safety standards. Now, reducing the need of health and safety equipment. Isolate your staff from hazards, mitigate danger more effectively, and reduce spending on less effective safety measures. Increasing the frequency of inspections. By closely and frequently monitoring the assets, organizations can establish better prediction patterns on their assets and preemptively perform maintenance during scheduled downtimes. Drones, when used in oil and gas industry, can reduce the cost of inspections. This enables them to conduct more frequent inspections on a more regular basis. Now, manual inspections involve sending people into the field, and often into dangerous situations to check the assets piece by piece. For larger assets like flare stacks, the traditional inspection method may take longer, especially when required to shut down the equipment. In which case, it may even take weeks to months, and all of this increases your downtime. Drone inspections take considerably less time than humans. The safety parameters for a human and drones are completely different. Let's take the flare stack as an example. While you usually would have to shut the stack down and wait for it to completely cool down, while also clearing any toxic fumes, when using a drone, you don't have to wait for it to cool down completely. Once the stack reaches 40 degrees, you can send the drone in safely. Drones are also just plain faster. They move around unimpeded and collect data at a rapid pace. Since you've eliminated the need for scaffoldings, the time sink associated with that is also freed up. Now, oil and gas fields are typically dangerous places. We always have to take into account hazards such as dangerous fumes in the facilities, inspectors and workers' safety, vehicle accidents, hostile environments and unfavorable weathers, challenging living and communications in remote sites, explosion or fires from arcing and malfunctions in or during inspections. On top of this, you have the inspections themselves that put workers in hazardous situations. What's important to note is that drones are replaceable, but people are not. One of the most effective methods of mitigating hazards is through engineering controls, essentially removing the people from the danger itself. So using drones allows you to do just that. You avoid the need for confined space entry, rope access, and using or building scaffolding. This isolates the people from hazards and essentially removes a lot of the danger that you need to take into account on a daily basis. The Elios 2 packs powerful sensors and a 4K camera, which gives you accurate data enabling you with actionable reports. Now the Elios fits where you can't and gives you the data you need from multiple angles. The data is stabilized without GPS. So in these indoor and confined spaces, we know it's usually challenging to establish a strong GPS connection. Now with the Elios 2, it's stable regardless of GPS connection. If you want to capture data of long patterns, the Elios 2 can be distance locked, allowing it to remain at a uniform distance from its viewpoint or a wall or any surface and can capture data consistently. It also provides a thermal and a 4K close-up inspection camera, which lets you even see the smallest of cracks from floors to ceiling. It provides 10K adjustable lumens, giving you the right amount of light for the inspection and preventing you from missing anything. Dust-proof lighting. The indoor spaces tend to get dusty, which makes flying and gathering data a challenge. The Elios 2 circumvents this issue by having dust-proof lighting that allows you to traverse through dusty and challenging environments confidently. Obtain a historical record of assets, and using Flyability's new Inspector 3.0, even in a GPS denied environment, you can exactly know where the defect is. So now on to the exciting part. Let's start talking about some of the use cases with the Elios 2 and the tangible benefits it's going to bring you and your operations. So here we have the stack inspections. The stack was around 400 feet. Now we'll go through the traditional methods as opposed to using drones. Now as you can see on the slide, you have savings of between 30,000 US dollars to around 60,000 US dollars. It eliminates 50 to 100 field exposure hours and eliminates downtime. With a flare stack, a small crack can transform a flare stack into a blowtorch, one that has the potential to cost human lives, not to mention millions in damages. Flare stack needs to be regularly and rigorously inspected, but doing so has traditionally involved sending human inspectors up scaffolding with cable safety restraints in place. Additionally, this slow and laborious inspection can only take place after the part of the plant has been shut down and the stack has fully cooled down. All told, it can take days or even weeks to return to normal operations. And by using drones, as you can see on this slide, it's around 1 to 4 flights. On to stack internal inspections. Now, you can see on this slide, traditional methods as opposed to using drones. You can save 40 to 75,000 US dollars just by using drone technology. But not only that, you will eliminate 100 to 150 field exposure hours, but also reduce your downtime from 5 to 7 days to only 1 day. Inspecting a flare stack the traditional way is slow, laborious, and dangerous. You would have to have the inspectors gain entry through confined space, then use scaffolding that is either suspended from the top or secured to the wall. This is going to extend the duration of the inspection, increase your downtime, and pose a health hazard to your inspectors. Drones can transform this process and remove much of the danger and downtime while providing accurate and precise data. Using the Elios 2, we can accomplish the following goals. To know and understand the condition of the flare and its potential life expectancy. To provide enough information to establish a plan for maintenance work for the pre-scheduled shutdown. To determine what spares or materials are expected for maintenance or whether a replacement tip is required. And last but certainly not least, to provide time to plan, schedule, and book an installation contractor. Now onto the tank internal inspections. Now it's very self-explanatory here. You can see a huge saving when using drones as opposed to using traditional methods. $400,000 in savings. You will eliminate 1,000 field exposure hours and reduce your downtime from a few weeks to just 1 day. Both tanks and stacks are large assets in the oil and gas industry. Inspecting these massive structures manually takes up a large chunk of time and resources. With the Elios 2's distance lock, you can inspect the weld rings around the entire tank with ease and see how the welds are holding up. When you use a drone, you can inspect the entire tank from top to bottom and identify areas where maintenance is required. So when you do need to go back and properly access the area, you can spend time and resources on just accessing that 5% surface area where it is necessary. Now we're on to crane runaway inspections. As you can see here, the difference between traditional methods and using drones. You can save up to $10,000. You can eliminate 40 field exposure hours and reduce your downtime from 8 to 12 hours to only 4 hours. Here in the UAE, using indoor cranes require permits and licensed operators, which adds more cost to your operations and increases downtime while waiting for your approvals. So, when it comes to traditional methods, you would need to normally shut the area down and get people up there for hands-on inspections. This can be very time-consuming and labor-intensive. Using the Elios 2, you can inspect up to 1,000 feet of runaway in just 15 to 20 flights, enabling you to cover all the components and identify faulty, missing, or cracked equipment with ease. An additional benefit when it comes to internal is that you don't need to procure costly permits. Reason being is within the UAE, you would not need any approvals, government approvals or permits to fly indoors, which ultimately cuts down a lot of cost and a lot of time.